Hi, Dr. Mindy here, and I am with Dr. Jason Fung, who, for many of my resetters, by the way, we did a whole book study on the obesity code. There were thousands of us that I took your book section by section by section and just broke it down for everybody. So thank you. It was just, everybody was like, it's life-changing, and the amount of weight people are losing just from applying those principles, just from the bottom of our heart. Thank you. Appreciate it. So the question I get the most is, if I'm really weight loss resistant, how long am I going to have to fast? Do I have to do a block fast? What does fasting look like for me as far as like a lifestyle?
Yeah, and that's a really hard question to answer because everybody really responds differently. So if you are very insulin resistant, you have to say, well, this has developed over a number of years. It's not going to go away in like 3 days. So even if you do it very diligently, it can take some time. But we have patients who, you know, the weight just flies right off, and some people who do exactly the same thing, and it's, you know, sort of very, very slow. So it's different. The key is to sort of find out what works and sort of keep at it, and understand that it is long-term commitment. It didn't happen sort of yesterday, so it's going to take a bit of time to get over it. So you know, what most people, my advice is for most people is to try different things to see what works, because you can give the same diet to two different people and one will lose 30 pounds and the other will gain 10 pounds sort of thing. So it's not sort of one size fits all. So if you're doing shorter fasts and it's not really working, then try something else, maybe not fasting or maybe long fasting. So one of the things that people haven't tried a lot of is sort of extended fast, sort of 3, 5, 7 days sort of thing, and that's a great thing to give a try. Now, it is, you do have to make sure you're doing it sort of safely and don't try and push it if you're feeling sick and so on. So you do have to take a little bit more care, but at the same time, a lot of people do it and find that that's what they needed to sort of get through and break through that sort of plateau or start the weight loss going again. So those are all things that you can try, and you find out what is the best for them.
What works. And what would be the fast you would tell somebody who's weight loss resistant to start with?
Well, first I would say you want to go to sort of a very low carbohydrate diet, because it's easier for the body to go into fasting if you're sort of at that stage. So if the body is used to sort of burning fat, like with the ketogenic diet, then whether you're burning body fat or dietary fat, it's really the same mechanism. So people find it easier to go into fasting from a low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. So that's the first thing to start, and then to be aware that it's probably, you can jump right in and do like a 5-day fast, but you might find it a little harder in terms of hunger and so on. Yeah. So you can start building it up like 24 hours at a time until you feel comfortable, and then do it. The only one, so I think a 3-5 day fast every so often is actually kind of helpful, just to reset everything, get things moving. It's often useful to know what to expect. That is, day 1 and day 2 tend to be the hardest. Yep. And then the hunger sort of slowly dissipates, and if you get to that point where everything is feeling good and you're at 5 days, you can even extend it longer, because you're already over that sort of hardest part. So that's why we don't usually use a lot of 2-day fasts for people, because it's like, if you're going to get to the hardest point, why don't you just go longer and get more? That's why we'll often go into 5, 7 or more days, and that's something to give a try. I'm not going to say that it's going to work for everybody or everybody's going to like it, but the surprising number of people actually really enjoy it, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, now you've found yourself a very useful tool for when you're feeling like you need to get down a few pounds. You just do this longer fast, and that's it, and it's sort of something that you can keep in your back pocket, that you can always do if you really get to the point where you're like, oh, okay, the pants are getting tight, I need to do something, and then, well, you can always do that.
So if I'm a 50-year-old woman and I'm weight loss resistant, I'm intermittent fasting, I'm low carb, and I'm not losing weight, what I hear is try an extended fast.
You can try it. I mean, there's no guarantees, but that is something that is definitely used for, for a lot of people, and it's reasonable to give it a try, because you can then go back to the intermittent fasting, low carb diets, and then just use it every so often. You don't have to do it like every month, but you could do it every month, or you could do it every 3 months or every 6 months.
Right.
Something that just sort of helps move things along.
Right. Awesome. Well, again, thank you. I mean, your information again is changing lives. So
Thank you so much.
we're so grateful for everything you're doing and for coming out to us and enlightening us. So
Oh, thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.